What's your name?
Rainbow.
Speaking in Iowa, former Vice President Joe Biden accused President Trump of fanning the flames of white supremacy.
Trump readily, eagerly attacks Islamic terrorism, but can barely bring himself to use the words white supremacy. And even when he says it, he doesn't appear to believe it. He seems more concerned about losing their votes than beating back this hateful ideology.
Biden is the current frontrunner for the Democratic Party nomination to run against Trump next year. Several of Biden's rivals were also quick to condemn the president for his past rhetoric, including Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders.
But is somebody who is a racist, who is a sexist, who is a xenophobe, whose anti-immigrant rhetoric, I believe, creates a climate in which violence can take place.
The mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton have unleashed new demands for gun control. And among those demanding action is Democratic presidential contender and New Jersey Senator Cory Booker.
We must act to prevent people who should not have guns from getting them.
It's my honor.
President Trump sought to console victims in El Paso and Ohio this week, and he also fired back at his Democratic rivals.
So my critics are political people. They're trying to make points. In many cases, they're running for president, and they're very low in the polls.
Trump's visits drew protesters in both cities, prompting a defense from presidential counselor Kellyanne Conway.
He's speaking to a nation about all of this and trying to unify and heal, taking concrete steps, and his political opponents are talking about him.
Democrat lawmakers care more about illegal aliens than they care about their own constituents.
Trump's long record of divisive and provocative comments are coming back to haunt him, says analyst Darrell.
Trump's rhetoric has contributed to the problem. The country is very divided, certainly along issues of race and immigration. And when he makes all the complaints that he does about immigrants, there are people that are now going out and acting on it.
But in a large Democratic presidential field, some candidates want to focus on Trump more than others, says Vanessa Beasley.
I think what's striking about this year is, the elephant in the room truly is President Trump. And so to the extent that some of them want to talk about President Trump a lot and some of them don't want to talk about him at all, that's what makes this year a little bit different.
The next major test in the Democratic primary race comes in mid-September, when contenders who qualify will gather in Houston, Texas for a third debate. Jim Malone, VOA News, Washington.